And on, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy right here, MMA Reloaded. We are live and direct from wherever you're watching. Thank you for watching. First of all, you know what I'm saying? We keep it real. We never lie, cheat, and steal. This is MMA Reloaded, real talk. And let me tell you why it's such a special edition, man. First of all, a big shout out to the gorilla Jess Martinez for joining us last time edition. It's the 16th edition. Fam, when my fucking Streamland ting the floor, like? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sorry, folks, just some technical shit out there. Capture everything MMA Reloaded does. You know what? Folks, if you want to capture 2 cents, if you want to capture when MMA Reloaded Raw Talk comes out with the next big ass guest, just check that out. You know what I mean? Folks, today I want to talk MMA, man, because and I don't want to, you know what I mean? I felt that bringing another fighter on to have a chat with wasn't what I wanted to do today. It was because, folks, there's so many things going on in the sport right now that I think with my special guest tonight, it's my second time chatting with this dude. I love talking with him. I feel like, folks, his thoughts and views, along with my thoughts and views, they go hand to hand, man. So we call it like a crossover episode, if you will. He presents Ear to the Canvas live on Spotify. A writer also for Back Sports page. His name is Ryan Truland. Folks, we will be live with Ryan in about another 10 minutes. But yeah, man, folks, I mean, it's not like I love my fighters. I love every special guest, folks, I have on the show. You know, from my first ever Anthony Anjikawani to Jerome Rivera to Kevin Worth to Johnny Munoz, just being able to chat with these guys and, you know, seeing how they think and how they appreciate the sport. They all appreciate in different ways. Different aspirations, inspirations. You know, it's a pleasure, man, to have special guests like that. And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of special guests, Friday the 17th of July, folks, I will be sitting down with King of the Cage, amateur flyweight champion, Alan Martinez there, ladies and gentlemen. And folks, that one is going to be one of the best shows, I think, man, because he is not one of the best shows. It is going to be one of the best. Every show I do is the best, man. My bad. Just a bit of brain fuck at the moment. But every show I do is the best, man. And right now, folks, Alan Martinez is the King of the Cage amateur flyweight champion. And folks, I look forward to sitting with him, joining and tuning tomorrow night when I sit with Alan Martinez to talk his career and MMA, folks. And right now we are just about ready and set to get going with Ryan. So be prepared for this one, man. This one's gonna be the shit right here, folks. So we're just about set. Copy that link. Ladies and gentlemen, just seeing my face like that, it's a bit weird, I know. But folks, this is what we have to do to to get these guys on the fucking show. It's a fucking pain, I tell you. All right, folks. So we've just sent Ryan Truland the invite. So just as I was saying before, I love my special guests. I love talking with these guys, man. And folks, like I was just saying, tune in and join us tomorrow night when we sit with King of the Cage, amateur flyweight champion Alan Martinez, super glue himself. Folks, this kid is a huge talent, and we were supposed to sit down a bit earlier in the week, but Alan did have an injury. I send my apologies for that one. That was going to be, but folks, this one's going to be a cutting edge show tomorrow night, and when we get back to the nitty gritty and chatting with one of the best and brightest young stars in MMA today in Alan. But folks, right now and today, episode 16, we get down and dirty with the real of the real and talk the nitty gritty of MMA with Ryan Truland, man. We go back and forth, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's always nice to have that unbiased sort of opinion with a fellow analyst and fellow writer. So, folks, this one is our second crossover episode. Tune in, man. Click that like and subscribe button as well. You know what I mean? I don't know what y'all been waiting for on that. You know, we're just about set, just about ready. Brian's just dialing it up right now. Folks, obviously, we're coming off last night where Calvin Kattar and Dan Ige went into a war, folks. Calvin Kattar proved last night that he deserves a shot in the big time. He came in duly ranked. So, folks, does he face off with Max Holloway? Does he go that big straight away? Or does he get someone like Josh Emmett to take on? I think, folks, he's done it all when it comes to being ranked number 5 and under. I think he's ready for that top 5 now. He's ready for that, for the Max Holloways now. He's ready for the Yair Rodriguez. I think if he had another fight with Zabit Magomed Sharipov, I think Calvin would do a lot better because he's the type of guy who learns from his mistakes, folks. And I think he's the perfect guy and one of the biggest dark horses right now in mixed martial arts in any ranking. In that featherweight ranking, these guys are, I think, looking at Korean Zombie, looking at Brian Ortega, Yair, they're looking at Zabit to be the next number 1 contender for the thing, but for Volkanovski. But the thing is here, bro, is you can't look past someone like Calvin Kattar, man. You look someone like Calvin, and you're gonna get a combo from hell, man. That's gonna make you realize who Calvin Kattar is. Also, man, Tim Elliott versus Ryan Benoit. What a fucking fight that was, man. These guys went back and forth and back and forth. They left blood, sweat, and tears in there. And folks, Ryan is just about ready to come through, and we will talk more with Ryan right now. Let's do it. What's going on?
There it is. What's up, man?
Right. Sorry, my bro. Give me one sec. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. You're coming through loud and clear, my bro. Loud and clear, man. How's it going, man?
It's going good, dude. Going very good.
Yeah.
UFC's been great.
Oh shit, man. We're getting straight into it right now, bro. I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, fucking hell. It's been crazy, my bro. We've had our ups, had our downs, had our controversies. Fight Island, bro, has not disappointed, man. And I guess like my first talk of the day has to be UFC 251, man.
Yeah.
I want to talk about last night as well, but UFC 251, bro. Let's start it off right there. I wanna just kick it off with not with the 3 championship fights, but with Yuri Prohaska, bro. You know what? He shook the fuck out of the light heavyweight division, bro. He came
Yeah.
in as the undefeated rising light heavyweight champ. I think he had like 2 title defenses. Came in, bro, and he shook up Volkan Ozdemir, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan, he had his hands down and shit, and he was swinging at Volkan and leaning in like he looked like Dominic Cruz in there, bro.
Yeah. He's a showman for sure. I had high expectations for Yuri coming into that fight because I wrote a little bit about him coming into it a few months ago and watched a few of his fights, his highlights against CB Dalloway. The guy has like some of the heaviest hands at 205 in the world.
Oh, shit.
And the way his style is so entertaining, he's going to be a star, I think.
Nah, definitely, man. I think when you look at that light heavyweight division, Ryan, yeah, a lot of people look at your typical that top 5, yeah, where you have Jan Blachowicz, you got Dom Reyes, Anthony Lionheart Smith, Thiago Santos, and Glover Teixeira, I think right now is up there.
Yep.
But then when you have Glover Teixeira now fighting Thiago Santos, yeah, bro, who do you give Yuri next, bro? Do you give him Corey Anderson, or do you give a Lionheart? Do you give Lionheart Smith, bro?
Oh man, I was thinking Corey Anderson actually.
You posted it. I know you posted it, bro.
I think it's a tough matchup for Yuri because Yuri wants to stand and bang. That's why Ozdemir was a good matchup for him because that's all that was going to be, was striking. I think Anderson will try and mix it up a little with Yuri. So it'll be interesting to see how Yuri handles that.
I know Yuri can be technical in his performances, bro, because I've seen him in Rising a couple of times, and I've seen him get caught and then come in the later rounds and be a lot more patient. Yeah, bro. So I think with Corey Anderson, if Corey tries to take down Yuri, that's going to be a huge problem, bro. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Do you think after his coming into his fight with Jan Blachowicz, that Corey Anderson's head was up his ass, bro, coming in because he was getting too big for his boots after that Johnny Walker win, bro, and I don't know what happened to him in the Jan fight, man.
Yeah, he ran into some Polish power. That's what happens.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he was pissed after that Johnny Walker fight. Felt that he didn't get any respect or the respect that he deserves, and that he came in hot into that Jan fight, and Jan stopped him right in his tracks. It's crazy.
Ryan, do you think Jan is marketable enough to go for that UFC light heavyweight championship with Dominic Reyes?
I don't know if he's ever going to be that big star. I would say probably not. But his talent is what does his talking. And I think he definitely deserves a shot against Dominic. If John Jones does vacate the belt, I think Jan versus Reyes makes sense.
Oh, yeah, man. Then, bro, you have to talk also UFC 251, bro. You have to talk first title fight, bro. Now, first fight actually I want to talk about with you is Rose Namajunas and Jessica Andrade. Bro.
That was a good one.
That was a sick fight, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Those women came in, bro, and I was impressed, man. I was fucking impressed. I think Rose learned from their first fight, bro. She stayed patient, used her distance well, bro. Didn't try and get in the pocket with Jessica that much. And she was beating her in the exchanges. So Jessica had to switch it up, use her footwork a bit more. Yeah. So talk to me about that, Ryan, man. What did you think? What did you think about that one, man?
Oh man, right up there with the Yuri fight. I thought those were two of the best fights of the night. Yeah, Rose looked like she wanted to be there. She came out looking like she did in the first fight, honestly, with just dominating on the feet, but in a little bit of a smarter way. She wasn't overreaching. She was calculated. Then that third round, Jessica really came back.
Yeah,
Rose is kind of lucky she won those first two so convincingly, because the third round was Jessica's, and that's when she did the damage to the nose and the eye.
oh shit, yeah.
Rose looked beaten and worn out after that fight, but hats off to her. She stuck in it and got that win. And I think she deserves a title shot next.
No, definitely, man. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about as well, the title shot. Yeah, bro. Because obviously, bro, Weili Zhang's a champ. Yeah. But one thing, yeah, Ryan, and there's one little name in there, yeah, that I think comes before Rose, and that's Tatiana Suarez. Yeah, bro.
Tatiana.
What do you think about that, Ryan, mate? Because I think it's overdue.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, who did Tatiana beat last? Do you remember?
I think, oh shit.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on
I
it.
think Nina Ansaroff she beat us.
Okay. Yeah, Tatiana's definitely deserving, but I would put Rose ahead of her, and then Tatiana. I wouldn't mind seeing Tatiana get maybe another win. She's definitely a title caliber fighter, no doubt about it.
So Tatiana Suarez right now, bro, is 8-0. Yeah, her last two wins have come against Carla Esparza and Nina Ansaroff. Yeah, right.
That's tough.
I would say I wouldn't mind Rose against Tatiana. You keep Weili warm for a little while, and then after those two women go at it, I'd say the winner goes up against Weili Zhang, and you have yourself a strawweight championship match.
Yeah, I tell you what, Rose versus Tatiana would be a fun fight. Two long women, tall.
Mm-hmm.
Matchup wise, that would be a fun one. Really.
Yeah, but I mean, Tatiana, you could look at it stylistically as Tatiana's wrestling against Rose's boxing, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I mean, if that's the way it's gonna go, you could make a lot of arguments in that division, man. But I think that's what would put the division on the map right there is a fight like that.
Yeah, it's exciting. The strawweight division's very fun right now. Weili's a great champion for that division. And with Rose coming back now and Tatiana, even Jessica is still obviously so tough. That's a fun division.
It is. It's a beautiful division to watch, man.
Yeah.
In more ways than one, you know what I mean? But I mean, with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, bro, getting that last championship shot, yeah, where do you see Joanna actually coming into the women's division right now, women's MMA right now? Because she had a flyweight title shot with Valentina, yeah. Then she lost to Weili Zhang, bro. Yeah. Where do you think Joanna fits into women's MMA right now?
I think she's still a big draw for the women's MMA. I think even her stock with that fight with Lei Li, honestly, I think her stock went up because that was such a tough fight, and that was such a close fight too. And still, that might be fight of the year. It's right up there. And I think Joanna's still right there. She's not exactly what she used to be, but she's still so tough.
I think, do you find with champions that have so much on them, yeah, like dominance and their reign performances, like Jose Aldo, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, people like that, and even Anthony Pettis when he was lightweight champion, it happened to him. Yeah, but Ryan, when they start out dominant and they have all the hype around them because they are dominant and because they hold the championship, yeah, and then once you lose that title, they started to deteriorate. Yeah, bro, 2-3 losses in a row, and We're seeing that now with Jose Aldo. We saw it with Anthony Pettis when he lost the lightweight championship. Then, do you think that was the case with Joanna after she lost the strawweight championship to Rose?
I think, yeah, for anybody who has the belt and has it for a while and then loses it, it's a big step back. And both really mentally, it's a big step back mentally coming in. You're used to being the champ, and now you're coming in as the challenger, fighting in a non-title fight sometimes even. And I think the fighters that can come back from that and bounce back are the ones that adapt and change their ways a little bit and grow. And Joanna, she didn't really adapt. She's kind of been trying to use what got her to the dance, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But sometimes you do have to adapt against like the younger, newer, fresher guys and girls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, and we look at that with our next fight. Yeah, Ryan, Max Holloway against or Alexander Volkanovski, bro. I can already see the smile on your face, because this one's a huge fight to talk about, my bro. Listen, man. Go ahead. I mean, look, man. For me, yeah, I don't know, man. Going into the championship rounds here, Ryan, I had Max winning. As I'm sure everyone did.
Or did you have him up 3-0?
I think it was, to me, man, heading into round 4, it was 3-1 to me. After round 4, sorry, it was 3-1. I think Volkanovski edged that 4th round with the leg kicks, and I think he took him down as well in that 4th. Ryan, talk to me about this one, man, because bro, this had social media going fucking crazy, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And obviously I had Dana White going crazy. What did you think when you saw that fight?
All right, so the first Max Holloway Volkanovski fight, I had Volkanovski winning that one. Yeah. I actually did. Some people I know said Max won, but I had Volkanovski winning that one. 3-2. This one though, like you, I had Max winning 3-2. I had Max winning, yeah. And it's interesting, the judges' scorecards, I actually thought it was the 3rd round that would have been the deciding round. It was actually the 5th. Yeah. All the judges gave the first 2 to Max. Then all the judges gave the next 2 to Volkanovski. And then the 5th round, 2 gave it to Volkanovski, 1 gave it to Max. So it was the 5th. That was the deciding round, which is interesting. Max came out so strong in that fight. Got the knockdowns. He looked great. Then Volkanovski switched up the game plan a little bit and came back with the vengeance. These guys are just so close, so competitive. They fought 10 rounds and each guy has won 5.
I mean, Ryan, look, yeah, after the first 2 rounds, yeah, bro, Max Holloway won that. Easy.
Yeah.
You go into number 3, and I think where the judges kind of had their scoring influenced a little bit was the leg kicks of Alexander Volkanovski coming into that 3rd round. I think in the 3rd, he started to close the distance a little bit more, and he started to land his leg kicks. He put Max up against the fence. He took Max down, even though Max got back up. That shit still counts. So I think heading into that championship round, you never know where the judges would have been. Then I think in the 4th round, 5th round, it was kind of the same, where Max was kind of walking him down and Volkanovski would counter him with the leg kicks. I mean, all right, man, shit happens in this sport, bro. But I think when you have a fight like that, two guys of that caliber, a decision is expected, bro. Nobody's going to sleep now.
Even if they fight again, I think it goes 5 rounds. I think it'll be razor close again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You
think they run it back?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Run that shit back. I think they deserve it this time, man. I think Volkanovski has a lot to prove now after that second fight. Um, I don't know how he's perceiving it. He's probably perceiving it as he won the championship round, so that automatically wins the fight for him.
All right, from what I saw him saying that he's happy to close the chapter on Matt Holloway and he wants to move on. That's what he says right now.
Yeah, damn right. That's what he said in his post-fight interview, man. He wants to line up next contenders.
But there's a lot of them.
Bro, that's what we talked last night, man. Calvin Kattar, bro. I mean, people are sleeping on Calvin Kattar right now, man. I think he wasn't, when you look at like contenders that people post up on social media, and even on our UFC discussion group here, bro, they never include Calvin in that discussion. It's always Brian Ortega, Korean Zombie, Yair, Zabit.
Yep.
But where's Calvin Kattar in that discussion, man?
He didn't beat any of those guys. He didn't compete with any of them.
Okay, man. I think. Yeah. Who would you like to see, Ryan, in that division, man? Go up against Volkanovski next?
Oh man, it's tough because correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Ortega and Zombie are scheduled to fight, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And then Yair and Zabit, I think, are going to fight.
Yeah, in November.
So, yes. So really, I think either one of the winners of those two fights could make their case.
So we're talking around 4 or 5 months, not seeing Volkanovski go up again. So we're talking next year. Yeah, I think Alexander Volkanovski will defend the belt again.
Yeah, I think maybe January, February.
Yeah, right. And then I would say, I don't know, man, because I think you need someone like Zabit or Yair or Brian Ortega, someone, bro, with the reach to sort of keep Volkanovski out. I think Max Holloway had the reach, yeah, Ryan. But if you look at Zabit and you look at Yair, they use that reach in so many different ways that you could throw off Volkanovski, man.
Yeah, I think Zabit would be a very tough matchup.
Yeah, right.
Specifically, yeah. Anybody that's going to try and get that thing to the ground and switch it up on Volkanovski, I think could give him some problems.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the crazy ass takedowns that Zabit throws, bro, and his height and size, the way he controls guys, man, that guy fucking destroys fuckers, man.
That might be the toughest matchup for Volkanovski, honestly.
Oh, man. Not unless Volkanovski goes all Kyle Botniak on Zabit, bro, and starts listening him, bro. I mean, all right, then you got one of my favorite divisions, bro, in the bantamweight division.
Yeah.
We hit that Lion's Den, man.
Yeah.
The Lion's Den, bro, has Petra Yan as a bantamweight champion. Oh my god, right, in that fight, man, I felt like I was watching a fucking Matrix, bro.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Did you? How did you make that out, man?
Oh man, they both came out just standing in the phone booth and trading with each other. Aldo had some fierce leg kicks that made Yan actually switch stances at one point. I'm so impressed with Petr Yan, though. Honestly, he is legit a true champion. His Aldo looked good. He really did. And Yan just kept coming and never wilted and ended up getting the finish. I wish the ref stopped it a little earlier. But I felt bad for Aldo. He was just covering up and the ref just kept letting it go.
Do you think Jose Aldo still has it in him, man, to at least, if not make another title run, to at least beat the top 5 at bantamweight?
I think he can. It's crazy how he's only 33 years old, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
And Holloway's only 28, which is crazy.
I mean, it's
Like,
not, man.
he's like two years younger than Adesanya.
I think it's the experience. I think with Aldo and Holloway, you kind of seen them growing up though. So they both grew up in the UFC, and I think Aldo grew up in the WEC, bro. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's
Yep.
pretty much a UFC, man. That's like their
Yep.
fucking their little clay pot, if you will. Yeah, and Aldo kind of destroyed guys there, man. He was
Yeah, he
good,
did.
destroying guys. And then with Holloway, bro, he made his debut in the UFC at 22 years old against Dustin Poirier. I mean, who does that?
He's never had it easy. Never.
What do you make now, man? Who's with Cody Garbrandt facing Marlon Moraes next at bantamweight? Yeah, right. Who do you make to be the next contender for Petr Yan? Aljamain Sterling.
I think it has to be.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Fucking, if Aljamain Sterling doesn't become #1 contender, yeah, I will rip my dick off and throw it in the river, bro. That shit is fucking stupid.
I'll be right there with you, buddy.
mean,
even before he beat Sandhagen, I thought he deserved the title shot.
Fucking hell, man. Even after he beat Sandhagen, bro, he was walking around the octagon like, give me a fucking championship shot. He's screaming at Dana. And I think he earned it. He earned it. He earned it when he beat who did he beat to earn that shot, man? Fuck. Yeah. So when he beat Sandhagen, bro, I think he definitely cemented that.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
But definitely cemented that fight, man. Another guy I was impressed with last night was Jimmy Rivera.
Me too.
Man, and
at featherweight.
Bro, at featherweight as well, man. Jimmy looks
5'4" featherweight.
massive.
Yeah.
He looks big as hell. And considering he's ranked at number 8 at bantamweight, yeah, it kind of gives him a new look, because I remember seeing him on the Ultimate Fighter 14. Yeah, Ryan, and he fought Dennis Bermudez. Yeah, in his first fight. It was a fucking classic, bro. If you haven't seen it, go watch that fight, man. That fight was classic. Yeah, and both guys were in their prime. I was like, this is the weight division for Jimmy Rivera. Stay a featherweight, man, and keep. Yeah.
He's got some serious power up there too.
Bro, oh man, he looked big. Yeah, he must have been walking around at 160, 150 easily. Yeah. And then, Ryan, when you look at the bantamweight division, you look at Sugar Sean O'Malley, bro, a guy who could easily jump the gun, yeah, from where he is right now to fighting Marlon Vera at UFC 252. Yeah, bro. Do you think, because he was calling out Cody Garbrandt, bro. Do you think what do you make out of that fight, man?
Oh man, well I'm a huge fan of the Sugar Show, and I think Vera's actually a good matchup for Sean. I'm happy that they didn't give him Cody, because I don't think he's quite there yet. He could be Cody right now, but I prefer him get another fight under him. And I think Vera is a very good stepping stone.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, Vera. I had Vera beating Sonya Dawn in his last fight.
Me too.
Yeah. And I think that if he had won that fight, I think he'd be on a 6-fight winning streak right now. So I think that's a fun matchup.
Damn right. I think you got 2 tall guys. Yeah. 2 guys that reach. I think Marlon Vera's been overlooked, bro, in my opinion. Yeah.
Could be ranked right now.
Oh yeah, definitely ranked.
Yeah.
At least if he beat Sonya Dong, bro, he would have been top 15 easily.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Yuri Prohaska, bro. No one knew who the fuck he was coming in. Yeah. Only I think real fans who watched Rising knew. Yeah, I knew who Yuri was, and I was like, shit. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Now he's looking at me. Now he's ranked at number 6 at light heavyweight. Yeah, bro. So you could have said the same for Marlon Vera if he beat Song Yadong. You could have fucking ranked him at number 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. At bantamweight. I mean,
Yeah.
right, and then we go to your main event for UFC 251, bro. We go to Mr. Kamaru Usman, and I see the disappointment in your face with this one, bro.
No.
And you're a Jorge Masvidal fanboy.
No.
Kamaru Usman, bro, versus Jorge Masvidal. Um, I think, bro, when I look at social media, I look at the comments, yeah, and I'm sure I'm not speaking for you, bro, but if you feel the same way, like, I get pissed off reading the fact that people hating on Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
I mean,
he did what he had to do.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. Go on, right?
Yeah, he's I think he might have the best cardio in the entire sport, Kamaru Usman. He outlasted Colby Covington in his last fight, or 2 fights ago now, and I think Masvidal coming in on 6-day notice, I think it was the perfect game plan to use the clinch where he has a strength advantage and work that thing to the ground and just wear Masvidal out, and that's what he did.
That's it.
Flawless performance.
It was flawless, man.
Yeah.
It was a clinic because when I look at the stats here, I'm a statistical guy, man. When I make sort of a judgment, I watch the fight, but then I also look at the stats as well, like total strikes landed, control time, and significant strikes. And that's how I'm judging, as if did they score it right or what was the decision all about. And when I saw the fact that Kamaru Usman had outlanded Masvidal, yeah, striking wise as well. Yeah, most of it was ground and pound, bro. But I think against the fence, he landed a lot of shots. Yeah, bro. Foot stomps and
shoulder strikes.
Yeah, bro. The shoulder strikes, man. He was fucking throwing them in. So I don't like it when people hate on Kamaru Usman. I think real fans understand the importance of control. I think we understand the fact that if you're a wrestler, bro, yeah, say Ryan, you're a wrestler, yeah, and I'm a striker. What's your first plan? Is to take me down, right? You're gonna use your strikes to sort of go forward and take me down. And bro, outlasting someone like Colby Covington in cardio, yeah, is amazing. Yeah, bro. Kamaru Usman's a physical, athletic freak. Yeah, bro. He comes in, and against Jorge, he did the same thing. Yeah, use your power, your athleticism to dominate game-bred Masvidal, man. And there's such a thing called jiu-jitsu, bro. If you don't like getting fucking taken down, fucking defend it, man, or go for a DOS choke or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you can't stop it, why stop doing it, right?
Exactly, bro. What were your thoughts, man? And how do you think a rematch is on the horizons, bro?
So for the fight itself, like I said, I think Usman is just one of the most dominant champions in the entire sport. He's a little underappreciated, I think. I see a lot of people calling him boring, and he's not. He's not boring. That fight against Colby Covington was one of the fights of the year, and one of the best welterweight title fights ever, probably. And he did what he had to do against Masvidal. I think Masvidal can get a rematch if he beats 1 or 2 more guys. I think he'll fight. I could see him fighting Leon next, Edwards. Nate Diaz, I know he wants to fight Nate. I even saw him call out Wonderboy Thompson, which was interesting. So there's definitely options for Jorge. And Usman, I think it's one option. I think Burns definitely deserves it next. He couldn't help do anything about getting COVID, so it's not his fault. I think the UFC should give him another chance.
I think so, man. I think he earned it. He earned it, bro, as well. And I think I think when you look at that division right now, I think they're gonna give Jorge Masvidal probably another shot on a full camp. But
Yeah.
I think he will face off with the winner of Burns and Usman, and then turning that table, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson might go up to middleweight, right? Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah, man. He was talking about fighting. He was talking about a possible fight with Israel. I was like, man, fuck, I would love to see that shit go down.
That would be a fun fight.
I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, if you don't feel comfortable at your weight, why not go up, man? He's a big guy as well.
Yeah.
You must be walking around at 180, 182, 183 at least.
Yeah, a lot of people have success going up in weight. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean,
especially as they get older.
yeah, exactly, man.
It's harder to cut.
I think Wonderboy's still in his prime now, man. I think it's how good you keep yourself in shape. I think that's why Dan Henderson was able to go and fight as long as he did, bro. It's because he kept himself in mad shape. And he almost won the UFC middleweight championship. He almost knocked out Michael Bisping, bro. I mean, shit.
They're talking shit right now on social media. Did you see that?
Yeah, no, did you see that? Did you see that? I posted that shit up, you know. I mean, I'm right. I'm not looking forward to seeing Bisping versus Henderson 3. I'll tell you that.
No.
I don't think nobody wants to see that, bro.
No, if that fight happens, it'll be in the street.
Oh man, they could do it outside Bisping's house for all I care, man. Just put that shit on World Star, bro.
Yeah, World Star.
I mean, bro, he only tweeted him because it was the anniversary of UFC 100 where Dan Henderson threw the H bomb from hell, bro, to put Bisping fucking sleep. I mean, I was when I posted that, I was reading the tweets first, yeah, bro, and it was Dan. Dan only sent the one tweet. Bisping sent 5 replies.
Yeah, he went at him hard.
Fuck him up, man. That's TKO round 1 to Michael Bisping, man. Fuck. Now, right, when we look at what's next, yeah, bro, at welterweight, we say Burns, yeah, bro, but Kamaru Usman wants a super fight at some stage with George St. Pierre. Now, bro, what do you think about that, man? Do you think George St. Pierre, 38 years old, still has it in him to go in and do something special?
I don't know. I know GSP still trains at TriStar. He's the gym in Canada. I don't know. I think Usman's just a totally different animal right now at this point in his career. He's in his prime and he's so dominant. I think he beats GSP, honestly, at this point in his career.
Me too.
And I'm not one of those people who's so anxious to see that fight, honestly. The welterweight division's got so many guys. You got Burns. Edwards deserves a chance sooner rather than later. You got guys at welterweight. Fun matchups. Masvidal again on a full camp would be fun.
Come on, man. And
Jeff Neal is coming up.
Oh my God! Look, yeah, Ryan. Look, man. Jeff Neal is ranked number 10. Yeah, I love Jeff Neal. I love watching Jeff Neal, man. But when you go back to the waitering at Outback Steakhouse, bro, yeah, because of Corona, because of COVID, and you're pretty much on a win streak, bro. You're pretty much unbeaten in the UFC. You smashed everyone, bro. But they can't find you a fight. And what kind of bullshit is that, man? I would say put him in there with Michael Chiesa. Yeah, he should have been on that card last night. I would have put him Michael Chiesa 1-on-1. Yeah, main event that shit. That'll be easily promoted. These guys don't like each other at all, man. They were talking shit months ago.
Yeah. Neil says that Kies has avoided him.
Bro, I mean, Kies is saying Neil's avoiding it, bro. I mean, I know his mama bought tickets.
Yeah, who knows what to believe, right?
I don't know what to say, man. I think when they say that they can't find the top 10 ranked, 11-2 or 12-2, I think Jeff Neal is. When you can't find a guy of that talent, magnitude coming up, worked his way all the way, yeah, to knock out Mike Perry, yeah, and to beat all these guys, yeah, highlight real shit. You say you can't find him a fight. I can't believe that. I don't believe that shit at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because it's not like Jeff Neal's the most talented fighter the UFC's ever seen or anything like that. He's really good, obviously. You would think they'd be able to find him somebody.
Bro, I would fight him if they paid me.
Yeah, for the right price.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think when you look at that top 5 here, Ryan, you mentioned 2 good names in there. I think when you look at comebacks and you look at guys bringing their first fight back, we haven't seen Colby Covington since his first fight with Kamaru.
Yep.
Yeah. But bro, he was rumored, and this is only a rumor. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's confirmed yet. He was rumored to go with Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I would say, I don't know, man. MMA uncensored chat shit, or they talk real, man. But I would say it's a good damn fight.
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna lie. It's way overdue, man. But
yeah.
What do you think, Ryan? Woodley versus Covington, or Woodley versus Edwards? Covington versus Edwards? What you got, man?
All right. If I'm playing UFC matchmaker, I go Usman versus Burns. I go Covington versus Woodley, and I go Masvidal versus Edwards. Those are the fights.
Masvidal, Edwards, man.
Those are 3 for 3 sick fights.
I would love Sean Shelby, move out the way, bro. Ryan Truland coming down. I mean, bro, look here, man. I love their fights. I love Masvidal Edwards, man. Nobody ever sees that coming. But I bet you Sean Shelby or Dana White will pull something out of their ass like that, bro, like Masvidal Edwards. And Woodley Covington. Everyone wants to see Woodley Covington. I remember Covington, after he beat Rafael dos Anjos, goes on the mic in Brazil and goes, "Oh, Brazil, you're a dump, da da da." And he goes, "Tyron Woodley, I'm coming for that belt, motherfucker." And he storms off, bro. And you could see in that interview, yeah, right, the Brazilian translator, bro, the Portuguese translator didn't want to say shit. Yeah, you see your face, he's like, he didn't want to say nothing. He would have got stabbed and taken in the favela, bro. Got stabbed more. Yeah,
man, Colby's wild.
Colby, man. He supports Trump as well and all that shit. I mean, another wild man in there writing is Mike Perry, bro. Mike Perry is Conor McGregor number 2, bro. Did you see the confrontation, bro, in the bar?
Yep.
I mean, right?
Literally like a poor man's Conor McGregor.
Ryan, and what the fuck, man? First, you have your girl. You have so much positive press, yeah, bro. Because you have your girl cornering you, but she doesn't really corner you. You're cornering yourself, bro. Really, I mean, she's just putting ice on his back and shit. And then he comes out and he beats Mickey Gall, bro, dominant. Like he out wrestled Mickey Gall, bro. I was impressed with Mickey in the first round. I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed with Mickey in the first round. His striking has come a long way, bro, and I've gotten to like Mickey Gall a lot, man. But his hype train has gone down right now, man, and I feel sorry for him as well, bro.
Yeah. Did you happen to catch last night Munir Lazez fight?
Oh man, I love Munir Lazez. I was just gonna get to that, man. I love
He
this guy.
called out Platinum Mike Perry.
I love that guy, man. I mean, brother, Abdul Razak is a beast, and
Yeah,
Munir and explodes on Razak, bro. Um, shit, those guys left everything in the octagon, man.
that was
They left,
great.
they left
Talk
it
about
all.
a UFC debut, right?
I can talk about your debut and that home. He was fighting in his home country, bro.
Yeah,
That's an amazing feat to do that in your home country.
yeah, man. He weathered that storm from
Oh,
Al Hassan too in the beginning, and then stayed calm, stayed cool, collective, and showed his kickboxing ability, which is clearly a high level.
oh man, he's got kickboxing for days, bro. I love
Yeah.
watching him. I watched a couple of his fights, bro. Brave, CF, bro, in the down in the
Oh,
Middle
okay.
East. These guys are nuts, man. They're some of the best strikers here, right? I've ever seen here, bro. Like Markwan Amir Khani type guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these guys, and I think we saw a little bit of that because he got confident. You saw in the later on in the fight, Munir started to get a lot more confident.
Oh,
He
yeah.
put his combinations together well. He even threw his flying knee out there, bro. That guy's got some hang time in there, man.
What's crazy is I think he can beat Mike Perry right now.
I think so.
I think,
think
honestly, I think that's a good call out and not a bad fight.
Oh hell no, man! Just don't
Yeah.
let Perry get in your chair, get in your grill, and
Yeah.
I think it'll be a tough one if Mike Perry trains properly. Yeah, if he trains properly, right, and I think we've seen him put on some good performances, bro. I've seen him put on some mad performances like he did against Cowboy Oliveira, and he did against like Jordan Mean and guys like that. I think we've seen Mike Perry put on a lot of good performances, bro. Yeah. But what the fuck is going on with Mike Perry right now, man? I think whatever's going on with him, man, I think Munir Lazez would beat the shit out of him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, he lost it, bro.
Yeah, man. I think it's funny too, the stuff between Perry and Darren Till.
Mike Perry's a bum.com. Oh man. Folks, tune into that one, man.
Perry literally badly wants to fight Darren Till.
Oh my god, man.
So funny.
Yeah. You see that shit? He's got 3 social media pages, a website dedicated to Mike Perry's mum. Yeah, bro. Oh man, that's mad. That is crazy. I mean, I can see Darren Till going back down to 170 just for that fight, man. And come back down to 170. I can see him going back, man. Fuck. I mean, Darren Till would kill him, man, right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Beat his ass.
Yep.
Yeah, but the way that guy has come back, yeah, Ryan, I'm so impressed with Darren Till, man. Not because that's my homeboy, you know what I mean?
I like him a lot too. I'm a big fan.
He's one of the most blue collar guys, man. He wants to fight anyone, anywhere. Once he's prepared and trained up, I think he's one of the best.
Yep.
Do you think that? Could you see Israel Adesanya fight Darren Till?
I definitely can. I think if Till beats Whitaker next week, I think he's next. Honestly.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I think he could very well fight the winner of Izzy and Costa.
Yeah, man. Whenever that fight takes place, man.
Yeah, if it ever does.
Bro, I just posted it up today, yeah. I don't know if you've seen it. Costa is training his ass off, man. He looks good. He looks clean, no steroids. He looks like his abs, he looks lean, bro, naturally. Yeah, he looks naturally lean. His boxing is good, bro. He's looking in great cardio shape as well. I could see Israel Adesanya. I hope he's not looking past Paulo Costa, bro.
I know.
Because if he is, he's oh man, he's a total douche. And
Yeah,
I mean, what do you think, Ryan? UFC 252, Adesanya Costa.
man. I wish. I don't think so though.
You know, why? Why not, man? Adesanya says Costa says that Adesanya is avoiding me. Adesanya says, "Oh, my coach never told me shit about that, man." Um, what's going on, man? Do you think the last fight with Yoel Romero kind of shook up Israel a little bit with the way he had to adapt his plan in the second round to make the fight a lot slow paced?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a wake up call for when Izzy fights power strikers like guys who carry a ton of heat at 185, like Costa, like Yoel, like a guy like Cannonier.
Mm.
I think those guys are the toughest type of matchups for Izzy. The guys that could just sleep him, in like one punch. Um, and I think after fighting Yoel, he's more aware of that. And I hope too, as a big Israel Adesanya fan, I hope he takes Costa very seriously because he is a very formidable opponent.
Man, shit. I mean, we saw what he did to Yoel Romero, man, in his last fight in his return. That was crazy. Yeah, bro. I mean, Ryan, it is what it is, man. And I guess when we look at the divisions right now, bro, every division has its own story to go back to, man.
Yeah.
The lightweight division, bro, Khabib Nurmagomedov and Justin Gaethje will fight off in September, man. Um, what are your thoughts on that one, bro? Because do you think after this one, um, if Khabib beats Justin, um, what do you think his plans would be? Or if Justin beats Khabib, does Khabib retire?
That's interesting. I don't really, especially with the death of his father, I don't really know where Khabib's head is at right now.
Yeah.
Um, I yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see him. I just don't know if he would hang it up or not. I hope not because I just love watching him fight, and I think that fight with Gaethje is going to be wild. I think
So,
Gaethje is the toughest opponent Khabib's ever faced.
yeah.
Um, just the way, I mean, Justin Gaethje can just be like a zombie in there sometimes. It's almost like shots just don't even, like he doesn't feel them. And he just keeps coming forward, never stops. His leg kicks. I think it's a tough matchup for Khabib.
He's a fucking animal. Justin
Yeah,
Gaethje. Yeah, man, he's the toughest matchup, bro. If Tony Ferguson had beat Khabib, if Tony Ferguson had beat Justin Gaethje, sorry, in the interim lightweight championship fight, what the fuck do you think would have happened? Do you think Tony Ferguson would that have made Tony Ferguson at that time the biggest threat of Khabib? Or do you think we would have been cursed for the sixth time and not get to see that fight? Um, I don't know, Ryan, man. I can't ever see us seeing that fight ever happen. Yeah, Tony versus Khabib ever, man. If we see that fight happen, yeah, I'll fucking kiss my own feet. Yeah.
I would too if I could reach him.
Me
Yeah,
too, man. I'm
man.
full of alcohol, bro.
um, yeah, I won't believe that fight's happening until I see them both in the octagon at the same time. That fight's just cursed.
But Khabib versus Justin, man, stylistically, how do you see that one playing out? Do you see Justin Gaethje? Because they both like to put pressure on early. Yeah, bro. But what I saw with Justin Gaethje against Michael Johnson, bro, is his debut. Standing up, yeah, bro. He has his hands down. And when he come and against Johnson, he didn't act as fast as he would have liked to, so he got caught. Yeah, Ryan, with a combination. Now I know Khabib is not Michael Johnson on the feet, but would you see something like that happening if Justin gets too careless, Khabib to capitalize on Justin Gaethje?
I don't know. I think Justin is a very different fighter from when he fought Michael Johnson. Trevor Whitman, his coach, said something that I think is going to stick with him for the rest of his career. He said it during the Ferguson fight. He said he wanted Justin to take 10% off of his punches. Don't try to knock him out with every punch, just touch him. And you touch him enough, he'll go down. And I think that is going to be huge for Justin's career, just to keep his gas tank a little higher going into the later rounds. I don't know. I think Justin poses a serious problem for Khabib. Even Justin's wrestling, his takedown defense, Justin's a hell of a wrestler. Yeah. And he just never uses it, but obviously he'll probably have to against Khabib. I don't know. If Khabib does have his way with Justin on the ground, then that just goes to show Khabib's just on a whole nother level.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
He is. What we saw with Justin Gaethje and what I've seen with Justin Gaethje, bro, in that Tony fight, he had nothing to lose at all. Nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Yeah, bro. Even if he didn't win that fight, his stock would have gone up anyway just for taking it. I think then when we see Khabib, he fights like he's got everything to lose all the time. When you're 28-0, 29-0, yeah, who the hell is gonna? You're gonna act like, yeah, nobody's gonna stop me. I'm gonna smash this guy and this guy and this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go off retired 30, 31-0, whatever. I mean, Ryan, how do you see that fight if it does ever in September? Yeah, bro, we're about 2 months out. Yeah. It could go, like you said, man, one of two ways. Justin could match him wrestling for wrestling. If Khabib does take it there, or Justin could put the pressure on, leg kick Khabib early, hurt Khabib. You never know, man. This shit is some wild shit out there, man.
Yeah, man. And Khabib's dad passing away just adds a whole nother element into that. Khabib, I think, will be more emotional coming into that fight.
Definitely.
And I don't know if that will work for him or against him. We'll see. I don't know. It's such a razor close fight. If I had to bet money on it, I would actually, call me crazy, I would bet on Justin Gaethje. Just because I think Gaethje, I think Gaethje showed me so much in that Tony fight. And just what he's good at, I think matches up well against Khabib.
Oh, shit. Wow, man. Wow. Wow, he is spoken, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Brian, then that's not our only championship fight. Even before that, we have Davison Figueiredo and Joseph Benavidez. And Davison Figueiredo, bro, got diagnosed with COVID-19. And you'll never guess who actually came at me on my DMs and say, you know what, I was going to go jump in there. John Moraga, bro, was about to come at me and say, yeah, man, he said he was going to, I was thinking of jumping in there. I don't know if he was joking or not, bro, but shit, man, he's going to come back like that. Oh, man, that would have been sick to watch, though, if he didn't. I mean, Ryan, do you see, I think Team Alpha Male guys are cursed with UFC belts. I have to say, it happened with Uriah Faber. I think Joseph Benavidez has had now going to be three championship shots? 4, I think. Yeah. Ryan, what do you have to say, my bro?
Oh, man. Well, wow, I watched the first fight, obviously, between them. I thought it was very close. Then the headbutt happened, which definitely changed the course of the fight. I think Figueiredo's got some serious power for 125. Very impressive power for a flyweight. Explosive. I would say Benavidez is the more technical, more well-versed all-around fighter of the two.
Yeah.
Razor close. I think that's a fun flyweight fight. I know a lot of people don't get too excited for the flyweight division sometimes, but this one's a fun one.
I mean, that's a question I want to ask because I got two flyweights coming on the show in my next two episodes, bro, and I want to ask that because it's good to hear like different opinions, bro, from different flyweights outside the UFC. Why don't you think the flyweight division sold as many tickets? I think it's starting to sell tickets now, bro. Yeah, because of the excitement and the guys they brought in, the new guys they brought in, bro, to make that division what it is now. Ryan, why do you think in the Demetrius Johnson era, they didn't succeed as much with selling tickets for flyweights?
I don't know. It's a shame too, because I enjoy watching flyweights. I know fans, they're just as talented as the rest of them, obviously, and yeah, they might not have the knockout power necessarily that like a welterweight would have. I think the Mighty Mouse era was actually kind of did the UFC a disservice just because how dominant, how far away he was from second place in that division for so long. And it was almost like the Mike Tyson type of thing where you knew Mighty Mouse is probably going to win, so why watch? It was one of those deals. Mighty Mouse was just so dominant. I'm happy though now that it's more the talent is more placed throughout the top 15. Yeah. There's definitely
I think
that's important.
Two guys, bro, that I want you to look out for, yeah. And you're gonna see them, bro. I know you're looking at guys for the Contender Series season 4 and stuff. I posted something like that, bro, or about in April. Yeah, it was so early, but when I saw the article post up on the net, I was like, holy shit, yeah. And then you start doing your research and stuff, and I actually got to sit down with a few of these guys. So one guy is Jerome Rivera, Renegade. Yeah, Ryan. He was a former Legacy #1 contender. He comes in, yeah, bro. And I said he's going to be on the Contender Series in August.
Is he?
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. So I think if you watch a few of his fights here, Ryan, you'll see what I'm talking about when I say versatility in the flyweight division. Yeah, he's long. Yeah, bro. Great striking. Exciting jiu-jitsu, the whole deal. Yeah, bro. And then the guy who made his debut against Tim Elliott, yeah, bro. Brandon Royval. Yeah, Ryan. I didn't get to sit down with Brandon, but I wanted to. That guy, he's a former Legacy champ. Yeah, Ryan, and he looked good, man. Yeah, he looked
really impressive against Tim Elliott. Yeah.
It's those types of guys, man, that I think are going to change the course of that UFC flyweight division. Like guys like Matt Chanel as well, bro. I think are gonna. Who's already in the UFC. Yeah, right. There's guys like that who I think are going to change the course of flyweight division.
Yeah, man. I think you're right. All it needs is some talent, some personalities, and I think it'll just be just fine.
Yeah, damn right. Well, man, that's about it, man. I mean, shit, it's a crazy ass sport, bro. And of course, Khabib's dad passing away, bro. And we've seen a lot of fighters lately connecting with their parents. So, no, man, like Bobby Green connected with his, and Anthony Martin, guys like that, bro. Of course, man, respect to that. Man, Ryan, Mr. Truland, it's always a pleasure, my bro. As always.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on. I had a lot of fun. I
Yeah, man.
definitely want to have you on here to the canvas soon.
Man, we have to do that, man. We have to
Yeah.
do that, bro. For sure. No, thank you so much for coming on again, Ryan, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, bro.
All right, man. All love. Thank you.
I love, man. Thank you, man. Peace.
All right. You take care. Take care.
You too, man.